Thank you for joining me today. It's an honor to explore a profound question together. What is beauty and why does it matter? Why do we pause in awe at a sunset or a masterpiece like Michelangelo's David? What does that beauty tells us about the world and about God? In a world so often marred by pain and brokenness, the presence of beauty speaks to something transcendent, something beyond mere survival. As David Bentley Hart once said, all that theology says about God makes room for, indeed, depends upon a thought of the beautiful. Beauty is not just a fleeting experience, it reflects something deeply meaningful. In the Christian worldview, beauty is not a mere accident of nature or a byproduct of evolution. It is intentional. The heavens declares the glory of God, says the psalmist. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. In creation, there is a reflection of God's beauty, a display of his character. But here is the key. Beauty is not simply subjective and arbitrary taste. There is an objectivity to it. We experience beauty not just as a personal preference but as something that exists outside of us. C.S. Lewis once noted that when we claim a sunset or a piece of music is beautiful, we are not just merely saying it pleases us. We are recognizing something intrinsic to the object itself. This beauty, I believe, points us to a deeper truth. A creator who is the ultimate source of beauty. Think about this. Why do we as humans create art? Why do we sculpt, paint and compose music? It's because we are made in the image of the greatest artist of all time, God himself. Just as Michelangelo's David was created with intention, so too were we and this universe shaped by the divine hand. Now some might argue that beauty is just a matter of evolution, a tool for survival. But is that really enough to explain the vast spectrum of beauty we encounter? Does evolution explain the transcendent feeling we get when we see a starry night or hear a beautiful symphony? The naturalist would reduce beauty to just biology, perhaps the symmetry of a face signaling health or a landscape reminding us of survival. But I suggest to you that beauty transcends mere utility. Even if evolutionary theory gives us an account of why we might find certain things pleasing, it does not answer why we find profound beauty in things that have no survival benefit at all. Things like mathematical elegance or the intricate detail of this universe. Stephen Hawking, an atheist, admitted that the precision with which the universe is fine-tuned is so extraordinary. It suggests that someone has monkeyed with the physics, as Fred Hoyle once remarked. Let me take you to an important moment. A Russian student, under the weight of atheistic pressure in the Soviet Union, found himself transfixed by the sheer beauty of the mathematical equations describing the universe. So moved by this elegance, he asked a visiting professor, "Who is behind this beauty?" I feel deep in my spirit that God must be speaking through these equations. You see, beauty leads us to ask not just how something exists, but why it exists. The Christian worldview offers a compelling answer to this question. Beauty is not merely a random occurrence, it is woven into the very fabric of our creation. Jonathan Edwards, the great theologian, once said that all the beauty in this world is but a reflection of the infinite fullness of God's beauty. But let's consider the alternative. What if beauty is just subjective? If beauty is only in the eyes of the beholder, then all beauty is rendered meaningless. It becomes a mere preference, like choosing a flavor of ice cream. Yet we know in our hearts that beauty has a deeper resonance. It calls out for recognition, for praise, for something higher than ourselves. Some skeptics claim that beauty can be explained solely by naturalism, that our appreciation of it is purely evolutionary. But let me challenge that. If the universe is merely a product of chance and impersonal forces, why does it so often move us to awe? Why does it stir the depths of our souls? Problem with naturalism is that it cannot explain why beauty exists in the first place. It is like trying to explain the beauty of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony by analyzing the vibrations in the air. It misses the point. Beauty speaks to something beyond mere materialism. When Islamic State destroyed ancient churches in Iraq and Syria, or the Taliban blew up the ancient artifacts in Afghanistan, the world was outraged. These were not merely structure of stones, they embodied a profound spiritual heritage representing the faith and culture that connected people to their history and to their God. The destruction of these sacred spaces felt like a violation to something deeply holy, a wound to the sacred beauty that united the faithful across generations. Why does that resonate with us? Because deep down we know beauty is not trivial. It carries a weight, a meaning. I want to leave you with this thought. Beauty is not accidental, nor is it meaningless. Beauty is a signpost pointing us to the ultimate artist, God. The Christian worldview offers the richest explanation of beauty. It is a reflection of God's own nature, a glimpse of His goodness, truth, and love. The beautiful moments we experience in life, whether in nature, art, or music, reminds us that there is more to this world than meets the eye. Thank you, and may you continue to find beauty in the world around you, and may it draw you closer to the one who is the source of it all, Jesus Christ.